All right, so we have these problems, and we need to balance. And so remember that we have to have the same number of atoms of each element on both sides. The first couple, they give us the skeleton equation, and we have to balance it. The next couple, we have to use the words to write the balance equation or the skeleton equation to balance it. So for one, we have zinc plus HCl reduces zinc chloride plus hydrogen gas. Okay, so we list our elements, and we have one zinc, one hydrogen, one chlorine. One zinc, two chlorines, and two hydrogens. Right, and so the to start with hydrogen, and then oxygen, and then whatever is left. There's no oxygen here, but there is hydrogen, so I'm going to start there. With hydrogen, if I put a 2 here, right, that's a coefficient, so it multiplies that whole molecule, just like in math class. So that means I have 2 hydrogens and 2 chlorines, and so now it's balanced. So for our final answer, we would just rewrite it. Zinc plus 1 atom of zinc plus 2 molecules Cl produces 1 molecule of zinc chloride and 1 molecule of hydrogen gas. Okay, that's it. So pause here, and we'll move on to the next one. All right. So for the next one, we have lithium plus nitrogen gas. Nitrogen is a diatomic molecule. That's why it's in 2. And that produces lithium nitride. Okay. And so now we need to balance that. So we're going to list our elements, lithium and nitrogen. I have 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Okay. There's no hydrogen in here, so I'm just going to start lithium. If I put a 3 here, that immediately bounces lithium. Nickel is not balanced, so I'm going to put a 2 here. So that gives me 2 nitrogen, but it's also going to give me 6 lithiums. So that means I need to change. Whoops. I don't. It crashed. All right, sorry about that. My computer crashed or the program crashed. So let's resume. I believe this is where it worked. And we had started with lithium, and that bounced lithium. Then I had to bounce nitrogen. So now I have 6 lithiums and 2 nitrogens. So now I've got to go back over here and change that to a 6. So it bounces. So we would write 6 plus 1 molecule of nitrogen produces 2 molecules of lithium nitride. All right, so that's it. So now we got to look at the other 2 there. All right, and so we have to think back to some previous chapters, and we have to write the formulas and then balance the equation. So that would just be K, it's a metal, it's not diatomic, plus water, that's H2O, produce potassium hydroxide. All right. We look at our polyatomic ions and we see that hydroxide is 1 minus. Potassium is 1 plus. All right, so that's it. That's the formula. KOH plus hydrogen gas. Hydrogen is a diatomic molecule. We just need to know that. So we have K, H, and O. We have 1 and 2 and and 1. We have 1 and 1 and 3. We have 1 hydrogen here and 2 hydrogens there. That's a total of 3. All right, so that means the lowest that 2 and 3 both go into is 6. So if I add a 3 right here, that gives me 6 hydrogens, but it also gives me 3 oxygens. If I'm gonna at least have 3 here, so that gives me 3 potassiums, 3 oxygens, and it gives me 3, that's 5 hydrogens. Okay. So then, if we change this to a instead of a 3, that would be 4 potassiums, 4 oxygens, and 4 hydrogens plus 2 more. That would be 6. So then I'm going to have to change this to 4 as well. That gives me 8 hydrogen, 4 oxygen. I'm going to put a 2 here. That gives me 2 more. So that's 4 plus 4. That's 8 hydrogens. And then if I put 4 there, that gives me 4 potassium. So the answer would be 4 atoms of potassium plus 4 molecules of H2O produces 4 molecules of KOH, potassium hydroxide, plus 2 molecules of hydrogen gas. All right. So pause here, get that down, and then move on. Real quick. Sodium phosphate. So we're going to look at our chemistry, and we see that phosphate is with a 3 minus charge. So we're going to have sodium, which is a 1 plus, P4, which is a 3 minus. Those do not add up to 0, so that means we need 3 sodium. So it's 3 PO4 plus calcium chloride. Right? Calcium is group 2, so that means it is a 2 plus. Fluorine is group 17, so that is a 1 minus. But it's not add up to 0, so we need 2 chlorines. So the CaCl2 produces sodium fluoride, NaCl plus calcium phosphate, which would be PO4, and calcium is still 2 plus, potassium or phosphate is still 3 minus, so it's going to be Ka3PO2, right? So we've got to balance that. So I'm first going to rewrite real quick. Na3PO4 plus calcium chloride reduces NaCl plus Ca3PO4 2. Notice I'll put parentheses around the polyatomic ion because it has its own subscript. Right? Also notice that PO4 here, I can treat that as if it's an element. So NaPO4 CaCl. All right, I have 3 and 1, 1 and 2. I have 1 sodium, 1 chlorine, and I have calcium and 2 phosphates. All right. So then to balance this, I don't know if it really matters where we start. I noticed that I'm going to need 3 sodiums and 2 chlorines. So I'm going to put a 3 here, make that 3, make that 3. I'm going to need 3 calciums over here, so I'm going to put a 3 there. That's 3. And then chlorines would be 6. And then also 2 phosphates over here. So that gives me 6 sodiums and 2 phosphates. Right? And so I'm going to change this to a 6. 6 phosphates, 6 chlorines, and it's nuts. So we would just rewrite it. 2NA3PO4 CaCl2 produces 6NaCl plus CA3 parentheses PO4. Sorry, I wrote that. All right. That's how you do those practice problems. Oops. I'll see you in class.